The frontside reverse is a stepping stone, I believe, to much bigger and better moves. Learning how to do these properly first really helps you, feel what it's like to go backwards on the wave, and, how your board will spin opposed to your body position and certain things like that. So although it's not, the hardest or most technical move in the entire world, it's still really fun and can lead, to better moves down the track. You can do these hooked in. However, I really like to do them unhooked. That way you can pass the bar, and you can even do like some type of olay around the back of your head as well. So there's a few options. I'm going to show you both. Like I say with most things, start out on the small ones first and work your way up. You really want a nice open face with a pretty crumbly lip. When you're first starting especially, you don't want the wave to be too vertical and too steep, or what's going to happen when you initiate your spin is your tail is going to basically tail dive into the water and send you over the hangers. At this point I've already unhooked. I've positioned my kite a little bit higher than 45 degrees and in the same direction that I'm going. But ultimately what I'm trying to achieve is that I have no pull from the kite during my turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to swing under my kite a little bit, and it's going to go to a neutral position, and that's where I'm going to try and complete my turn. What you don't want to do is turn your kite too fast down the line. During this turn, when you're spinning around backwards, what will happen is your kite could potentially power up and loop, or do a kite loop throughout the turn, and then that's going to rip you straight off your board. Once I've got my kite in the perfect position, just going to do a standard bottom turn. There's no big exaggeration with the bottom turn at all. It's just a standard one, and basically what it's doing is it's just veering me in the direction that I need to go to initiate my rail change. You'll notice right here, I'm holding my bar with my leading hand. Then as I come up to the top of the wave, what I'm actually going to do is swap hands on my bar, because I'm going to throw my body weight in the opposite direction. So if I hold on with that hand, it's physically just not going to work. Okay, so to initiate the turn off the top, you're going to push really hard off your back foot, but also apply some front foot pressure. In order to do the 360 spin, what you need to do is you need to look over your leading shoulder, and you need to hold that composure throughout. What can happen is you can get halfway through your turn, and if you stop looking over your leading shoulder, you're going to stop doing the turn. Then that's going to power up the kite and rip you off your board. Once you've turned all the way around, you'll notice on this particular one, I've opted not to pass the bar. What I'm actually going to do is an olay, and what that means is I'm just going to keep the bar in the same hand and then just loop it over the top of my head. You need to make sure when you do it this particular way that on the last little bit of the turn that you really duck your head, or else you're going to basically get your neck wrapped around the lines. The reason why I do it that way sometimes is because I just like to mix it up, and it's just, fun to have a bit of variation in particular moves. I'm going to show you the same move, but with a handle pass rather than an olay. So all the same techniques apply throughout, but instead of olaying it over my head, I'm actually going to reach around with my other hand, grab the bar, and then keep sliding the board around and straighten up. As soon as you can, you want to grab the bar with both hands and either hook back into your harness or reposition the kite or make subtle adjustments for you to do your next turn. Okay, let's have a look at one where it all goes wrong. At this point, everything's looking really good. I've had a nice bottom turn. I've initiated the turn off the top well, and I've gone to make the handle pass. Okay, what I've done here is I've actually not positioned my kite properly, and it's started to loop or gain more speed than what I had on the wave before I actually completed the manoeuvre. So it's basically ripped me straight off my board. It's, I can't stress this enough. It's so important to have your kite positioning right, or else you're just not going to be able to complete the move successfully. There's definitely a couple of really key points here. First one is kite position. You absolutely need to make sure that your kite is positioned perfectly, or else during the turn it's going to rip you off your board. Also, just to add on the kite positioning, as long as you're travelling at the same speed as what your kite is, you're going to be good most of the time. You're going to have a little bit of room for error, but it's once you change your speed of your kite opposed to how fast you're going, that's where the problems are going to lie. The other thing is too, you don't need to go all crazy with your bottom turn to set this particular turn up. You just need to use your bottom turn to steer you up the face of the wave and put yourself in the position that you want. And the last thing is, you don't need the most steepest vertical wave in the world. Just find a nice open face or a nice crumbly lip and start off small.